Hey everyone, it is your girl Quella Graphic Love coming to you again with yet another video. I hope that everyone is pushing on through. At the time of me recording this, we are currently still in the quarantine phase. I'm not going to say either C word because I don't want this video to get flagged, but we are pushing it through the quarantine. In this time, I just want to make sure that I'm pushing out content and putting out videos of things that I feel that you guys would like, or you guys that would be very receptive to, and also be very insightful and beneficial to you as well. So I didn't share this, but maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I signed up for Hellofresh, and it was basically through my computer telling me it's payday tomorrow. Um, it was basically through like a 90-day trial promotion type of thing. So pretty much what you got was $90 off across multiple orders that you got. So your first order was almost like, I think it was like maybe $50 off. Then the next one was like 40, the next one was like 30, and then it dropped down to 10. So pretty much $90 across the way. But my reason for trying HelloFresh is I've seen several other YouTubers like really try it out and give their experience on it and like the different recipes and stuff. And I'm really one of those people that goes to Pinterest and will search dinner recipes, lunch recipes, all those kinds of recipes, because I just like to cook. I like to chef it up. I like to try out new things, especially when it comes to cooking and exposing myself to different methods of cooking and different forms of cooking. So I love to eat as well. So it kind of goes hand in hand. So I signed up for HelloFresh, and this is not sponsored, by the way, but I just wanted to share my experience and give my take on it for other people who may be interested in doing it. I would always recommend signing up for the trial or like the one box free type of thing, because full price, it might be a different, I'm not sure how much it is full price, but I think if you're getting into something that you're very unfamiliar with, the best thing to do is to get in on a trial. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to share my HelloFresh experience with you all. So like I mentioned, when I signed up for HelloFresh, I started on a $90 off trial over multiple deliveries. And the first thing when I signed up, it kind of made my meals for me. So I realized that I was able to go in and adjust it and change up the meals. So the first set of meals I wasn't really able to go in to do, but for the second week I was able to, second, third week, whatever, how many weeks left, I was able to go in and modify it some more, pick the recipes that I want, things a little bit more to my taste, but different that I hadn't ever cooked it before. Chose the 3-meal plan. So you can choose based upon your family size, your portion size, your dietary needs and stuff like that. So I just chose just regular meals. I chose the classic plan, which was 3 meals for 2 people. So obviously it's just me. So what I would do is I'd make a meal for lunch. I'd have like 2 dinners and 1 lunch. So that's kind of like how I picked it. And it wasn't a hard process. You kind of just pick, like, if you were vegetarian, vegan, if you were pescatarian, if you were like you wanted all meats, you wanted all veggies. You're able to choose it from that way. So that's very helpful as well. They have so many different recipes and options that you can choose. Like, it's kind of endless. So 1 month or 1 week you might be like, you know what, I think I'm feeling some type of tenderloin. Next week you'd be like, I'm feeling like a pasta meal, or I want to switch it up and do burgers and fries. They have all kinds of different ones that you can do. So the first things that I really want to go over are the pros and cons when it came to HelloFresh and my experience with them. So the question is, was it worth it? And to be honest, like I mentioned, I think the best thing to do is go into it on a trial, because if you go into it on a trial, you get a pretty big discount off of the original order. So full price, I don't know if it's worth it full price, but I would definitely try it out on the trial. A few meals that I chose and prepared, I'll put here in the video. Like I mentioned, I was able to choose my meals for the second, third, and the fourth week, I believe. I think I got like 3 or 4 weeks, almost got a month worth. But the first meal I wasn't able to choose. It kind of just randomly selected it for me. And it gives you that option to randomly select all of your meals. You don't have to go in and do it, but I just wanted to make sure it was giving me things that I'd actually eat. So that's kind of why I decided to take over a little bit. For the meals that I chose and prepared, once you get the meals in the box, I think I might have a photo of the box that I believe I have a photo or something of the box when it came in. So kind of like how it was shipped to me and how it actually receive it. And like I mentioned, the meals that you chose and prepared, they give you these meal cards of the various meals that you have. So like they're within the box as well. If they're not showing up on the computer, on the camera, I can just insert some pictures. But you get these cards, and pretty much on the front of the card it has what the meal looks like, and then on the back it has like the ingredients on the left hand side, and then like some visuals and some actual instructions of what you're supposed to be doing, preparation time, little tips and tricks and stuff on here as well when it comes to cooking or how to cook effectively. And I really did enjoy that part of it. So pros. The pros for Hellofresh were actually a lot more pros than cons. I actually didn't have any negative like drawbacks with it. I literally have like 2 or 3 cons, but the pros outweigh the cons, so that's a good thing. The first pro is it forces you to cook, and this is mainly for people who like to eat out, always order out, don't really like to be in the kitchen cooking, or don't really have that type of mindset to find a meal and prepare it. It really forces you to cook because it gives you literally everything there. So all you have to do is just get the pan, get the stove ready, get everything together so you can just prepare the meal. And I like that aspect because I'm not someone who like goes out and eats every single time, but usually on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, I do find myself going out to eat, or, picking up a little meal, like a little pizza or a burger, fries. I might go out on Sundays, give me a little drink, give me a little appetizer, something cute. That's probably what I usually do. And after a while, that starts to add up. So obviously, HelloFresh is a cost anyways. But when you realize that, hey, I've got dinner for Saturday, I've got dinner for Sunday night, I've got food in the fridge, I don't need to spend my money. So you save more money in your pocket, and it just forces people to cook, and it's also a fun experience because you're kind of experimenting, like even if you're not really sure what this ingredient is or what this food is, because there are a lot of things that were in my recipe that I had never even heard of. Like I never heard before, or I had never cooked that food that particular way. So forces you to cook. The second pro is it allows you to try new meals and preparation techniques, like I mentioned. I had meals that were of tenderloin. I eat tenderloin, but like different ways to prep broccoli and cook broccoli, wedge potatoes, couscous. Never had that before, but after I had it in one of my meals, I absolutely loved it. Like it was just really something, like the consistency of it was different. Never had it before. Just like making your own sauces when it came to like glazes for any of your meats, those kind of things. It was really interesting, and I really enjoyed it because I'm like, well, I might be a little chef, I might have a hand at this chef game, I might be in the kitchen chefing it up a little bit more, like I think I'm doing something, julienning a I don't know, garlic or mincing garlic, and it's like I've never minced a garlic before. So I learned that, and just like I learned about scallions, I always saw scallions, but I didn't know that they were called scallions. I just thought they were like, what they call them, like green onions or white onions. They all look the same, but I had never cooked with scallions before. I had never cooked with like glazes or stocks. Like they had some really creative, cool stuff in there. I'll definitely insert all the pictures and everything, of course. I like the preparation techniques. It was pretty dope. Another pro of HelloFresh is it allows you to explore new tastes. So one thing that I had made that I'd never made before was like this. It was like a spinach ravioli. The meals that I made was the chicken sausage and spinach ricotta ravioli. I don't know nothing about that. I've never even, what is ricotta? I'm sorry, I never knew. So they had like chicken sausage and I was like, what is chicken sausage? But it's like a sweet sausage that kind of reminds me of turkey sausage, but it's different. It's a different texture. But like even with that, they taught me how to make different marinades and different like sauces and seasonings and just glazes and stuff that you can put over your food. And it just really wowed me because I'm like, you know, I would go into the store and not know what to buy. This is garlic, white onion, this to put all this together and make it an actual meal, or top my jasmine rice or my couscous off with, cook it with sesame seeds and add glaze. It was really, really fun, like being in the kitchen. It gets you excited about cooking because, you know, when you have a new meal that you've never made before, you're like, okay, I'm interested to know how this is gonna taste, what the texture is gonna be like, if I'm gonna like it, will I make it again, will it become a staple in my household, those type of things. So, you know, you might have a new favorite food easily. Another pro is it gives you good portion control for meal prepping. So I'm someone that meal preps. I usually meal prep dinner and lunches because I work 5 days a week. And even when I get off of work, I come back home and I work on other personal projects as well, if it's not in regards to like clients or just a side business that I'm doing. So I'm not really always available to cook every single night. So to help me, I usually meal prep on either Sundays or Mondays, depending on how I'm feeling on Sundays. So I try to meal prep on Sundays, and I meal prep usually until about Thursday because, like I said, on Fridays, I usually order out. Saturdays, same thing. Sunday, we start the process over again. But I meal prep lunches and dinners and breakfasts sometimes. Like usually I like to switch up my breakfasts, so I just kind of like pick that the day of. But meal prepping has been such a lifesaver. It's been so essential when you're just on the go. Like, you know, you're just coming home from a long day, you don't feel like cooking, you can go in the fridge, get you a meal prep and just pop it into the microwave. It's already prepared. You might have to like add a little salt and pepper to a little seasoning and stuff, and then just go on your merry way. Like, that's what I like to do, and it saves me so much time. And one thing about meal prepping, I wouldn't say it's an art, but meal prepping can be pretty much anything. You know, you can meal prep if you want chicken breasts, if you can meal prep lasagna, any type of pasta meal, any type of chicken, chili, anything like that, you can meal prep. The only thing, like, don't go meal prepping pizza, because if you're putting a big circle of pizza and you're just breaking it apart and just putting it into like that, that's not, ideally, that is not how you meal prep. Another pro is they have the cookbook on their website. So as long as you have a open profile with them, like you set up an account with them, your subscription doesn't have to be active, but you still have access to like the cookbook and the favorites, which are pretty much all recipes and stuff that come from any of the meals that they send out. So just because you didn't get a box with that particular meal, you can still go to the website and get these same ones. They look just like this. They let you download the PDF of these. So it's pretty much the same pictures in the front and then everything that's on the back. And then you just follow along. The only thing is, obviously, if your subscription is no longer active, you have to just buy the ingredients yourself. Which, I mean, it's nothing to do a hop, skip, and jump to Trader Joe's or Target or, you know, even Walmart to just pick up a few things that you need for your meal. To be honest, I think it would kind of be around the same price range. And that's another thing that I know people brought up was like, is it any cheaper to do HelloFresh versus just going out to the store and get it? It's kind of the same, to be honest. It also depends on how many mouths you're feeding or how many meals you're trying to make out of it. So I would say it's about the same. Like, I usually shop for every 2 weeks. So if I shop on a pay week, I'm shopping until my next pay week. And that's usually how I measure out all my food, all my meals, my snacks, everything. So I make sure that I'm good. Like I mentioned, even if you cancel the subscription, you still have access to all the recipes. I advise you to download them if you can just do it on your laptop. You can go back, sign in and stuff and look at it, but For me, I kind of just want it on my computer, on my laptop. And then you could even print them out if you wanted to. They don't have to be on like cardstock like this, but it could easily be on regular printing paper, or you can make your own, literally make your own cookbook with all the recipes and everything, especially the ones that you liked. So all the ones that I tried, I don't think there was one I didn't like. I liked all of my meals, honestly. I think the last meal I was kind of was this like spaghetti that I bought. I wasn't crazy about it. I wasn't crazy about the spaghetti. It was just kind of like typical spaghetti. But all right, so let's get into the cons of HelloFresh. Like I mentioned, I didn't have very many cons. I literally have maybe like 2 or 3 on here, but they're not like anything to the detriment of the company, or like I had horrible customer service or anything, or like my package was thrown at the door. For the cons, the first con, the major con, I think the resounding con for everyone who's had their experience with HelloFresh is the amount of packaging that they use. They use a lot of packaging, a lot of, see, the box is big, or it's dependent upon how many meals that you get or how many ingredients are in that meal, but it is a lot of packaging. When you get it delivered to your door, or wherever you get it delivered to, I live in a house, so it's delivered to my door. You have the big box. Okay, cool, we gotta have something to have it in. And then you have like another thing on top that says like, oh, items under here. And then you have the bubble wrap. And then you have the freezer, these huge freezer like bag thingies that are all surrounding the entire bag. And that's, I mean, the entire box. And that's mainly so like you can leave the box out up to 24 hours and it'll still, your items will still be cold. That's what they said. So even if you get home one day, you're like, oh dang, you know, I delivered that. They delivered at 8 o'clock in the morning. Like for me, they delivered at 8 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get home till about 6 that same day. So it'd been out a few hours. I would open up the box and it's still freezing cold. Like it works. I don't know. It just works. Packaging, it was a lot of packaging because once you move the freezer bags, then you have like a little section at the bottom that said, oh, don't forget your meats. Cardboard divider that you pull up and then you take out your meats, and then you have the brown bags, so all the other ingredients, and then you have, every little thing has its own little bag, and it can get very like, it can be a lot of packaging. And don't get me wrong, I'm a package freak. I love packaging. It's very cute, you know, it's very self-explanatory too. And it's like, oh, don't forget this, don't forget me, recycle me, like those type of things. It's really cute. It's really cute. Goes on the branding with the company. I don't know how they can make it smaller. Like, I don't know if it has to do with the amount of packaging or just like how they're doing the deliverables, because there has to be a smarter method, to be honest, a more smarter, effective method. Obviously they can't ship it in a plastic bag, but you get what I'm saying. So another con that I have with HelloFresh is it can start to get pricey when you do weekly meals. So I pulled up my account and I'm just gonna read off from my account. I got my first box. It was $20 for shipping. And then after $20, the next box was $30, $30.93. And then it went from $30 to $50. And that was still for the same amount of meals, classic plan. After a while, it just started to be like, ooh, you know, $50. And I could get with the 20 and stuff, but, you know, I was already charging it on my credit card. So, you know, I don't want high utilization on my credit card. So like every week it was just like, okay, we're charging you for the new week upcoming. And I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna have to put a pause. Although it is very helpful, very beneficial. You don't have to go out to the store, which I get. It can get costly. So that's why I encourage anyone who wants to try it, get in on a trial. Or if you have a friend who already has an active trial, ask them to send you their referral code. You also get money off of that, as well as you can send your friends free boxes. I gave out all my boxes. I gave invites to my mom. I gave one to like my sister, and then you do get a referral code. Unfortunately, I'm not able to pull mine up now. But yeah, just figure that out. Even look online. Like they have deals out the wazoo. They're always doing deals. So just do some research. You can find somebody's code. Even if you're watching somebody's video, you can use their code. My code is not showing up because it's, you know, the high demand what we're going through right now. So they put a pause on referrals, as I'm reading right now from HelloFresh. The last con that I have is the prep time is not the most accurate. So when you're preparing these meals, when you're cooking them, like the prep and the cook time, it's To me, it's kind of off because, like, okay, I remember cooking this one, and this one says that the prep time is 10 minutes, okay, and it's a total of 30 minutes to cook. This took me almost about an hour, maybe 10 minutes. You know, it wasn't that easy. So I think they might need to adjust the prep time, or maybe I'm just moving too slow, you know. Maybe the average person, hey, this meal you can get done in 30 minutes. But there are other contingencies that need to be set apart. So pretty much, I feel like the prep time isn't the most accurate, especially depending on how long it takes someone to even prep and cook the food. That might need to be adjusted a bit. I guess just take your time with it. You don't want to rush it anyways to try to get it under that 30 mark. If it says, oh, okay, well, this needs to be finished in 20 minutes, you know, under 20 minutes. Like, if it's going to take a little bit long for you to prep it and get it right, I mean, I say, why not? Why not? But I feel that they should probably put some type of disclaimer, like an asterisk next to the prep time, the cook time. But pretty much that was my experience with HelloFresh. Would I do it again? I definitely would. I would definitely sign up for it again. I really liked it. I really enjoyed having my meals delivered to my door and me just cooking them up and just having fun in the kitchen. It's definitely a really good, like, date thing to do. Like, if you're having cooking night and kind of like, you know, you guys are just cooking for each other, you can easily grab one of those HelloFresh meals, prep it, get it fixed, and boom, you guys have yourself a meal for the night. It's a really cool idea, the concept of it. I know there are other companies that do have similar concepts to HelloFresh. I don't want to name them because I don't even know if they exist, or I might even be right. But I say, if you have been on the fence about trying HelloFresh, I would say hop on the fence and give it a try, because it's really worth it. You know, even if you do it one time, that's fine, but just make sure you are financially good, you know, to pay for it. Just also keep an eye out on your trial and stuff if you do sign up for a trial. So anywho, that's all I've got to really say about HelloFresh. If you guys have also shopped HelloFresh or even signed up for a trial, I'd love to hear you guys' experience. Me, I am also a foodie, so I like to take pictures of my food and to make sure it matches up with the actual food that's on the image, that's on the card or whatever. So I did take a lot of imagery of the meals that I made. Number one, to compare them to make sure they looked like the meal, and number two, just for me to kind of post. I post all my meals on my social media and stuff. It's just something that I do. I know it might be kind of corny, but I mean, hey. But that's all I've got for you guys today. I am glad that you guys are sticking around. You're sticking it out in this quarantine time, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.